Hey everyone. So I am back post PCT for now. We're gonna keep saying for now. You know, hopefully the state of the world gets a little bit better and we can get back on trail. But until then, I just wanted to answer some of the questions that people have been asking me. I mean, for this video in particular, the big one that people were asking was just what I was eating in a day. When I was preparing to go on my PCT through hike, one of the types of videos that I really like to watch to prepare was just what people ate on trail. I find it really interesting, and it's kind of fun to see the variety of things that people eat outside of ramen and tuna. So I figured I'd just kind of go through a typical day. Obviously, I wasn't on trail for, the entire 5 months, so all of this is subject to change. But for the first, 12 days that I was out there, I felt like I really enjoyed the food that I had on trail. I don't think I dialed in exactly how much I was supposed to be eating in a day. Because my body had not totally adapted to the, hiking long miles all day, every day. But I think by the end of, near the end of it, I got a pretty good handle on what to eat and when. Mostly during the day, it was if I was noticing myself being really cranky and complaining, I would eat a snack, and that would generally alleviate most of my complaints. Low blood sugar makes you really grumpy. So if you're ever on trail thinking, wow, this really, really sucks, probably just take a snack break and you'll feel infinitely better. So try that. So generally for breakfast, it would really depend on what the weather was like. If it was raining, which it did for about, 3/4 of the time that I was on the PCT, I would just grab a bar as I was packing up camp and just eat while I was moving, because it sucks to be wet and trying to eat breakfast. If it was not raining, then I would generally eat oatmeal. So I like this protein oatmeal from Kodiak Cakes. Yeah, mostly because it's delicious, and it doesn't have a lot of weird things in the ingredients. I don't think it says on here. Oh, it says in the box, but it doesn't have a bunch of weird fillers and fake sugars and gross things. I try to avoid processed sugar as much as I can, especially on trail. When you're doing something really athletic, that's just, you need to fuel your body with whole real food. Often, that can be tricky on trail because we're, trying to get things as light and as efficient and whatever as possible. But these are really good. They've got 12 grams of protein in one serving. They're actually really tasty. They cook up really quickly. You just boil some water, pour those in, let them steep for a little bit. And then I would jazz them up a little bit by adding some peanut butter powder. So this is Naked Peanut Butter, the brand. I just put them in little Ziplocs. It's just essentially roasted peanuts all ground up, and it makes the oatmeal a lot better, and it's lighter weight than regular peanut butter. And these are ground chia seeds. I just like those. They add fiber, which you need when you're trying to go to the bathroom in a hole. Makes your life a little easier. And it also adds, omega-3s and kind of the essential fats that you need to keep your joints healthy. And I would also add some chocolate protein powder. This also has a mix of greens in it, so that you can also get some vitamins going on as well, because I know that vegetables and green things are often some of the most difficult things to eat on trail, just because they're heavy and they have a lot of water weight. So that was breakfast. So I would usually just mix these all up together in a thing of oatmeal. Oh, and I would also add a packet of these. So this is from a company called the Rotten Fruit Box. So they actually take fruits that are too ugly or they're a little bit bruised and they can't be sold in grocery stores because people would think they were ugly and they don't buy them. So instead they take them and they freeze dry them and put them in these little compostable packages that are super lightweight, and they're really delicious. You can see in there I just combined a couple of bags into one. So there's pineapples and there's a mixed berry in there as well. But those are really good and they make your oatmeal quite tasty. So that's breakfast. For lunch, I usually did a pretty poor job of eating a real lunch. So between breakfast and lunch, I would generally have a combination of bars and snacks and things. Again, I tried to go the route of good whole ingredients, so I really like these RX bars. I got a couple of big boxes of them on Amazon so that I could bring the price down a little bit. When you buy them in a grocery store, they're like $2 a bar, but if you get them on Amazon, they are cheaper than that. So I got big boxes of those. But again, you can see the ingredients on them. There's nothing weird in there. It is as stated. I also like, at Target, they have really good bars. Nothing is sponsored here, just sharing the knowledge that I like. So this is, I liked these ones. They're really tasty. For something with like, you know, a bit of crunch to it that's not just kind of squishy. Lara bars are also tasty. I like those. The cherry pie one's pretty good. But my favorite are these. They are Good and Gather brand, and they're, any flavor of these actually are super good. I really enjoyed all of them, and they don't have anything weird in them. It's just dates, bananas, almonds, chocolate chips. That's it. That's all it is. So those are a good, healthy, delicious choice. My backpack has one really big hip belt pocket, really big, pretty big hip belt pocket on the left side. And in the morning when I was packing up my stuff, I would just stuff that full of as many bars as would fit in there, as well as for snacks. I really like these Brookside chocolates. I would just buy a really big bag and then divide them into little Ziplocs. They're just, they're like blueberry flavored little kind of jelly things covered in dark chocolate. Those are not along the same lines as my other healthy things, but sometimes you just need chocolate in your life when trail is hard. Also things like sour cherry blasters. I did, you know, do a little small baggie of these so I could eat a couple of those in a day, because sometimes you just need some processed sugar to make your life better. But on to lunch. I really like these. They're called Chomps. And again, just going with the sort of trying to be healthy trend, you know, of my food so far. The habanero cranberry ones are really good. They're a little spicy. And let's be honest, I would just wrap them in a tortilla. I know that's probably not real food, but it was a good thing, and I could eat it while I was going, and it would fill me up. If I was extra hungry, I would double up or just have 2 tortillas and wrap it around one of these sticks. It's kind of like a sandwich. I don't know. I was lazy and I'm not a real lunch eater. Otherwise, I would just have a whole bunch of bars. I also like these because you can just eat it all in one bite while you're hiking. And it's just fruit. It's just apple puree or, you know, whatever fruit is in it. Ooh, the other thing I liked were these Epic bars. They're a little bit more on the pricey side, but they're delicious. Again, I got a big box of those from Amazon. That one is just grass-fed bison. Sounds pretty good. For dinner, one of the things that I really enjoyed eating was these things called Tasty Bite. They're like lentil meals. It's kind of like Indian food in a bag. They're obviously not ultralight as they are liquid, but they're super delicious. So I'd like to just, you know, I just would pack one of those out and eat it on my first night. Because if I'm feeling really lazy, you can eat them at room temperature and they're totally fine. Or you can, you know, put them in your pot and cook them and eat them that way. This would be like my luxury meal because they're heavy. But if you just, you know, eat them on the first day, then you're good to go. These little rice things, they're already pre-cooked and like ready to go. So you just mix them together with your lentils and you got a really good, delicious meal. Other than that, you know, if I wasn't eating the, you know, fancy, really heavy meals, you know, Ichiban ramen, kind of the typical hiker meal, is like so satisfying at the end of the day. It's really salty and delicious, and I would add hot buffalo flavored tuna to it because that's the best flavor of these tuna packets. It goes really well with ramen. Also, one of my like hiking buddies that I met on trail gave me a little tiny packet of powdered lime and some sriracha that they brought with them because they had all the good food. They freeze-dried all of their food for like 6 months, which was awesome. But they gave me a packet of those to add to my ramen, and that was delicious. The other thing I did carry, but I didn't actually get a chance to eat because I got off trail, is, you know, your typical like pasta sides, broccoli cheddar. I've eaten these at home and they're just fine. They're good. I just didn't get a chance to make them on trail, but I know a lot of hikers swear by them because they're like 97 cents and they're really lightweight and they cook pretty fast. I think you can cold soak them. Don't quote me on that. I use a stove. I'm not a fan of the cold soaking. I think it's gross. Throughout the day, I would also have some drink mixes that I liked. So this one's called Liquid IV. It's pretty good. It's just like an electrolyte pack. I got the passion fruit flavor. My cook kit I actually really liked. So I have this, I know I went over this in the gear video, but you know, we're talking about food, so how do we cook it? I had this Sea to Summit collapsible silicone cup that was really handy. I would just use it as the lid for my pot, and then when the water was done boiling, obviously just pour it in. I mean, it has a tendency to attract dust because it's, you know, a little bit rubbery. So that's, I guess, maybe one of its drawbacks, but I mean, really not that bad. Everything's dirty out there anyway, so just don't worry about it. Yeah, carried a gas can. This lasted me, I mean, there's still lots in there. You should probably be able to get another week out of it, but it lasted me, you know, 2 weeks, and it's probably like half full at this point, so I just had one of those. I got a packet, like a box of them on Amazon. My stove is the BRS little tiny baby stove. It's just a little guy, and I'm sure I showed you this, but it just folds out. It was really useful. I liked it a lot. Probably could have used a windscreen at some points because it was super windy in the desert, but truthfully, you know, I just use my hands and cover it, and it's really not a big deal. But that's that little guy. A lighter. This is one of the things I forgot on my very first backpacking trip that I went on by myself, so I never forget what I'm using again, because I couldn't eat most of my food because I didn't have a lighter until some group of backpackers took pity on me and gave me a packet of matches, so that was very nice of them. So that's that. And this again is a Snow Peak 600 titanium cup with the hot lips, so you don't burn your face off when you're sipping from it. So that's that. And then this, someone told me what it's called, GSI something something something. It's a long-handled spoon. It's got this kind of rubbery mouthpiece, which I actually like because it makes cleaning out your pot a lot easier. Because if you really want to be leave no trace, you put a little bit of water, you swish it around, you scrape the sides, and then you drink it so that you're not spraying, you know, food residue all over your campsite. I also had a bunch of these packets of Starbucks Via. They're delicious. Let's just be real. So that was pretty good. I don't drink it with cream or sugar or anything, so I would just have those plain alongside my oatmeal in the morning. Oh yeah, I found a little packet of the crystallized lime that my friends gave me. Sorry, I still have one. I didn't get to finish it, but those are really good. I don't know where you get them, but I'm sure you could Google it. Cool, but that's it. I mean, you can see I have a lot of food left over because I bought like hundreds of bars and lots of packets of tuna and all of this stuff for, you know, the first few months of my through hike. So I'm super prepared for quarantine. I ate some of my ramen noodles and tuna today for lunch because why not? But yeah, that's what I've been eating. If you guys like this kind of video, you know, let me know in the comments. Again, not an expert, have not completed my through hike yet. So, you know, if I got something wrong or did something really dumb, just like let me know. Be nice about it, but let me know. I'm still learning. I've had a chance to, you know, kind of road test all of my gear and my food and my choices, kind of narrow stuff down a little bit. I'll do a little gear post as well. I added a few things in the first couple weeks that were really handy. I don't know if you can see my hands, but one of them was sun gloves, but I'll show that later. But again, you know, if you like this, leave me a little comment down below. If you've got questions about, you know, the PCT or my experience or whatever, again, leave those below, or just give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'll try and put some more videos out as we go along, because I'm getting pretty bored just being stuck at home. So, you know, give me something to do. I'll make you guys a video. But other than that, thank you for watching. Happy hiking. Bye.